Dear participants, kindly join in. We will start the session right at 2:30. So I can see that there are very less number of participants. This will be a great enriching session for you all. So requesting all to kindly join in so that we can start the session at the right time. Thank you. Hello, good afternoon to everyone. Let's get started for today's session on second half. It's my great pleasure to invite today's resource person, Professor Dr. Debkumar Chakravorty. Before I will brief about him, let me tell you to welcome you all for Faculty Development Program on Research Paper Writing and Publication in SCOPUS or Web of Science Journals. This is the session third day, topic 6, that is research methodology, mixed method, that will be delivered by Professor Dr. Debkumar Chakravorty. Professor Chakravorty, prior association before joining Adamas University as Dean School of Design was with the Indian Institute of Technology, Guwahati, National Institute of Design, Ahmedabad, Central Institute of Technology, Assam, and the University of Petroleum and Energy Studies, Dehradun, to mentor PhD program. He has a PhD in ergonomics and has successfully guided more than 20 PhD scholars in varied field of design, as well as mentored a number of undergraduate and postgraduate students. Dr. Chakravorty is a sound academician with a range of publications in the field of design and ergonomics across reputed journals, book chapters, and conference papers, and edited and published books with reputed national and international publishers. Professor Debkumar Chakravorty has organized 4 international conferences and 3 QIP programs. He keeps interest in confidence building, in design learning, and specifically promoting PhD in multidisciplinary design and communication. Currently, he is the president of Indian Society of Ergonomics. And we're delighted to inform you that Sir has joined Adamas University and he has a keen interest on media and communication as well. Welcome you, sir. And today's topics, mixed methodology, is very contemporary, and I hope that this session will be helpful for you, those who have joined, the research scholars, academicians, faculty members, and my fellow colleagues, because this methodology, mixed methodology, which comprises both quantitative and qualitative, gives you the standard result of both the approaches. You can weigh, you can map, you can take the advantage of the 2 branch of studies in your research domain. So, further ado, I request Professor Debkumar Chakravorty sir to start the session. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much for introducing me with very nice words. For the participants, I also welcome in this last 2 days and today's morning. I think there was some very heavy discussion on this topic. So I would like to make this session a little lighter but informative with my experience sharing with you. And obviously, after this deliberation, next 2 days also will be some good inputs to all of you. So I will try my session to be a bridge type of thing, both the ends. So my topic is that research methodology, the mixed methods, but I would like to stress upon issues practically faced. So I would like to share some concerns and my academic experience in a research journey leading to PhD, writing paper, and issues confronted by scholars. Now, if the topic is writing paper for SCOPUS and SCI, then why we need to know the research journey leading to PhD? Because what I feel, whatever we want to write in paper if I do not do the research, then what I'm going to write it? So the relation between research journey and writing paper, I would like to write during this session. If you have any query, you can stop me anytime. You can ask me questions also, or you can note down some of the points that you want to discuss with me after the session is over. That may also be done. Now, the first thing is that issue of initiation of research, PhD kind of thing. I would like to discuss here some 3 points. The selection of topic, selection of guide, and place of work. In the left-hand side, you can see there's some circles with some lines are there. So it gives you a homogeneous appearance. So what's happened when we think that I would like to do some PhD, then what would be a topic? Because everything is good and everything is done and everything like that. So how I can find the specific topic to do? Something like this here in this figure, we can say that now see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These 5 specific dots have some different appearances with the background of all the circles. Means these are there, but if, before I tell you this figure appeared as a homogeneous collage kind of thing. But now it is there, yes, these things are different. Means, so I have to identify some of the issues from this existing platform that interests me and also give some newness in this knowledge. So, selection of topic as you are passionate on that, and it has to be newness. Many times it is seen that people say that we are not getting any reference. Earlier, nobody has done this type of work, so there is no point of doing such type of things. But the case is, the matter is that if the work is already been done, then you don't need to do anything on this thing. Or if the work is done, then from that, some differences from your point of view are there. If you do that thing, so that addition would be the newness in this aspect. So the newness in a selection of topic is not only new to the researcher, because researcher may not know all the things. So whatever he finds, he gets from library or from somebody else, it gives him a new thing. But it is not like that. So it newness to be added to a knowledge domain. Now, how to select this topic and etc., I will discuss later. Now, second thing comes selection of guide. When a person, I think I am discussing this believing that the participants are either pursuing PhD or they are intended to do PhD. So with that feeling, I am discussing this. Now, so a selection of guide or supervisor is a question. It comes that when I decide that I will do PhD, then I think that an eminent person in my topic area. So that eminent person, I can find it maybe in Switzerland or maybe in Singapore or maybe in some IITs or in some other universities. Very good thing. But the matter is that here, many a times we do some mistakes that without knowing the role of guide. Guide is need not necessarily be the very good at your specific topic. Your specific topic means what's happened? You will be doing the research, so you will look into very deep in that issue. So you will be getting doctorate, but not your guide. But guide has some experience. He will lead you how to go through. So what's happened? And one more thing, for guides also, we can say that guides are always, many a times it is seen that they try to give students some kind of their own projects to carry out, so that the projects also will be done, and from that students will get some PhD matter. It is very good thing. But sometimes it is also seen that the relation between guide and student also creates an issue. Now here we can say that the role of Dronacharya in Mahabharata. Dronacharya was killed by his own student Arjuna. Then why we are telling that Dronacharya is a very good teacher? The thing is that teacher's credibility or teacher's success comes at that time when student exceeds him. So a guide's role would be always to motivate students so that he can gain the things beyond his teacher's capability in that topic. But then role of guide is to give a direction, to control the students, how they are progressing. I'll give you some more examples in that. Many a times students think that I need, okay, somehow I got a guide here. Guide should be in such a people with whom you are very comfortable to communicate. It is not that you have decided a guide, you have selected guide, a very eminent person in this field, but he is not giving any time to discuss with you. So then there is no point. So it is better to get a guide with whom you will be feeling more comfortable to discuss with you. With this, many times it is seen that in midway of PhD research, students change their guide. They ask the authority to allot another guide. Right. And many a times it is seen that students request some additional, means co-guide kind of thing. At the very beginning, if we, with a very enthusiasm, if we say that for administration purpose, I got admission in this institute, so a guide is there, and for my subject expertise, I'll get one more guide from somewhere else. At the very beginning, two guides, this co-guide system looks very nice. Very few days it goes very well, and after certain period, what's happened? Both the guides' interest differ, and then one guide asks you to do something, another guide may not agree to that. So their conflict starts. So I have seen in many cases students start with one guide, and if it is required, then second guide may be added, not at the very beginning. That normally my experience goes like that. Now third one comes place of work. So place of work means there are two types of PhD students come, part-time and full-time. Full-time means what's happened? Either they will devote full-time being in campus or in department. They may or may not get stipend, scholarships. Many times institute provide teaching assistantship type of some stipend, whatever. So this is a full-time engagement. And another is that a part-time engagement means you will be working somewhere. You may come, do the coursework being in station, and then you can go and you can work. And also it may be sponsored. where you are working. Now the question is that many times there is some doubt that full-time PhD and part-time PhD, is there any difference in? No. PhD degree is the same degree. The way whether you are working, being stationed in a laboratory or in a work in a department, or you are visiting and you are working some work in field wherever you are employed or in somewhere else, that is the only difference. Otherwise, PhD degree is the same. So it is better to have a comfortable workplace. So this is for the regular students. There are some students, those who are already working, engaged in some work, they want to do PhD. Mostly whatsoever the faculties, academic faculty members, they want to pursue PhD while in job, or they will. The same thing happens in that, because in an organization, you are the expert, so you are there as a faculty. But the now found is that if you do PhD, then you require a guide or an expert person. So then you may find that this person is not available in your university. Then what's happened? You will look for that type of person from different institutes. Yes, you will get that. University or institute will also permit you to that thing. Then question comes, if there is no quality improvement program type of facilities that you may get a deputation for PhD, leave kind of thing with pay, it is not possible to leave your job and to attend the other institutes requirement, coursework and etc. So it is always good if in your institutes or organization or in university, the PhD scope is there, get enrolled, get a faculty member as your guide, and then for any kind of help, academic help, the world is open, you can meet anybody, anywhere, you can get expertise help. But the thing is that you should not feel trouble to get leave to attend the PhD relevant meetings and others while you are employed in other institute. These are the some issues that one may need to consider. Now the thing is that, so another question comes, project and PhD research. Yes, as a faculty member, as an employee or as a student, we are doing many projects. Then what is the difference between project and PhD research? People are many times there is confusion is there, and many times it is also seen that people are telling that research by practice. What is the research by practice and project and PhD research? Now I can say that project means what's happened? Some based on some theme or something that you are delivering some tangible product, system, or something like that. This type. You are developing and you are giving something to use. That is a project. So in the project, the final deliverable thing has the main issue. But PhD research is that the same thing, same will happen, but you have to bring some kind of philosophy from this. Why it happens, how it happens, why people like it, something like that issue. Means in PhD research, the way you are doing the work, the methodology has to be properly documented. The result, expected result, whatever you planned in advance, it may come, may not come. In PhD research, result is not the main point. Main point is the process. Whatever you got, it's inferences. Means philosophizing your findings. That is the PhD research. Some people also started telling or calling nowadays the for the professional subjects, that PhD by practice. Means that some people started telling that when I am doing any project or something, then just document this project and submit for the PhD. So it may be accepted as a PhD research. But the thing is that till today, nobody accepted this proposal. People have accepted the proposal that whatever you do project, document, and whatever by practice or whatever, it may be your own project or it may be some kind of a theoretical project or whatever like that way. But you have to philosophize the findings. That is the one thing. So we can say that in right-hand side, you can say that PhD research degree in design and communication tunes a person to a maturity level where he is independent to think about why it happens, and also get ways to execute the how with deeper understanding. Whereas degree of bachelor and masters mostly devote to skill perfection to satisfy the present need, practice, and act as if this bachelor degree and master's degree knowledge, skill knowledge, act as prerequisite groundwork for further ideation of betterment and research. One example I'll tell you here. Suppose the star. After master's degree, I thought to do some research on star. This star may be from science background, maybe from communication background, or maybe from some other background. It may happen. So the thing is that at the very beginning, in our childhood, we learned that twinkle, twinkle, little star like that. Fine. So our star image was that. When we came to school, we learned that stars are very big, more bigger than sun, and it emits light, etc., etc., etc. In school, we learned. Then when we go little more, then what's happened? It says that why the star moves and etc. Why the lighting, why it twinkle, air and air variations, air depth, density, and etc. All things you are doing. But the same topic, the same thing that stars are twinkling. In master's degree, what's happened? When we came the same thing, we are discussing that with some references, who has done this, who has developed this thing, what are different things, etc. But when we do master's, PhD in this, from a communication, we can say that, suppose the topic is why mothers to comfort their children, they take the help of twinkling star. This issue is not earlier whatever we have done, the skill perfection. Here that why. Then how it can be more effective, this communication, like that. So these are the issues. It means when the same topic we are discussing at a PhD research, it would be philosophizing. Now some questions, some queries always comes. PhD thesis and paper, volume and number. So quite often people say that how many pages would be a thesis and a paper, scientific paper. I will tell a small story that my professor used to tell me when I was doing PhD. I also raised the same question. He said that normally when we refer something, we give a big university's name. Suppose it is a London University. Just suppose. In that university, just London University, I'm just taking a reference, it is not an actual name. In that university, one mathematics department was there, and the professor and head, he asked a brilliant assistant professor in mathematics, why you are not doing PhD? Then he said that I have not much time, so I cannot do this thing, etc., etc. So many things. Then the professor said, okay, I'll give you 1 year with pay leave. You do your PhD because it requires, and you are very good, you can do it. I believe it. Then that assistant professor said, okay, I'll do it. After 1 year, he came back to department and submitted thesis of 3 pages. First page is the cover page, second page is the main topic, and third page is the conclusion and last end. So the professor was very angry. What this nonsense is this? 1 year, what he has done? But still, when he is submitting his thesis, it has to be accepted. In that university, the rule was that after submission of this PhD thesis, within 3 days, result has to be published. After receiving the PhD thesis, the professor and head remained absent for 6 days. He came to office on 7th day and he called that assistant professor and he apologized that I broke our tradition. Normally 3 days we require for publishing the result, but I took 6 days to study your thesis. It was excellent. So you are good for award and etc. etc. It is a story. At the same time, it also said that even for my case, when I reviewed some thesis, huge thesis of 3,000 pages. Yes, there are many references, many things are there, but it is not required. Then what would be the thing? Roughly, we can say around 150 pages, plus minus something, is more or less a normal thesis. In today's context, when I am typing in computer. But earlier, when it was a typewriter, 7 pages typewriting copies, yeah, it was more because at that time or 7, we have to write a double space gap because the typing thing. But now in computer, it is not required, single space gap is required, and thus 150 pages is enough. Good. Then a paper, when I write a scientific paper, normally as a researcher, we want to write many things, whatever I learned and whatever I have done. So normally 30 pages, etc. I just first write. Then slowly, gradually goes down. Normally it is said that a conference paper is almost 5 to 6 pages and a journal paper max maybe around 10 pages are there. So like that. But each and every journal, they have their own volume limitations. Then another thing comes for thesis submission, how many papers, how many publications are there? But the thing is that why we need publications and why it is there. The publication is that whatever work you are doing, you are not alone doing everything. Means whatever you are doing, it should get justification, justified, accepted by people. So you have to publish it. So at the beginning, researchers go to conferences because what's happened? It gives you confirmation of your work, whatever you are doing. And final publication, and they also publish. But the conference papers are the publication of an ongoing work. But journal paper is that it is an archive paper. When you completed the work, then finally you are publishing the journal paper. So the question comes now, you have to publish papers before submitting thesis. Normally people say that earlier there was only conference paper publication, etc. It was there. Then came that no, you have to use journal papers. Then came that no, there are many journals that is not up to the level, and etc. So different universities fixed their levels. And then finally UGC and other regulatory bodies also came in picture, and they said that the SCOPUS and etc. etc. These type of index journals are required. So then what's happened? The students, PhD scholars, they faced a lot of problems. So then finally we can say that in the some last few months ago, UGC has issued a notification that journal publication is not necessary for submission of PhD. But there are many other institutes to uplift their status. They look for journal publications also. Now, when the journal publications came, the matter came, people say that you can write a review paper or you write a paper. Now, when I join in an institute or university, I feel that my seniors, they are publishing papers, sending papers to journals. Even my just 1 year senior fellow, he also do publishing, he also communicating papers. So I also need to do, I also studied a lot of things in library, etc. So I'll also write a paper. Then what's happened? We write something, then give to guide. Guide says, okay, you read something, this much things, do some work, I got it. So then what's happened? The students gets little back, but why it happens like that? So in this case, the guru and shishya, that a more personal attachment is required for a PhD. For a PhD, it creates a maturity to the student and it creates a lifelong relationship with his guide. I'll tell you a small story through this and the levels of the journey of the PhD students. Normally, the story goes like this way that one Guruji, he has a small disciple in a jungle type of resort kind of thing. Here, that a small kid, that disciple, used to stay there, and then a guru used to visit him every 15 days and used to give him some lesson, and that Shishya used to practice that, something like that, it was going on. One day, Guru asked that Shishya, come with me, I'll go somewhere. I'll take you somewhere. So while they were going, they just crossed the jungle and they came to a highway. In that path, they saw one big procession was going. Then that Shishya, he does not know anything, he never saw anything. He asked Guru, what is it? Then Guru said that it is a procession. Oh, it is a procession. So many people, good dress. Yes, good dress. What they are carrying? After so many questions, the Guru said that probably this is a merchant after some big goods sale. So they are going to meet king to gift and to tell something about their trip. Oh, they are going to the king. Then just after getting this king turn, he thought that if so many good people are going to meet king, then king must be very big. So I want to meet king. Guru, I want to see king. Then Guru said that why you need to see the king? You are sannyasi, sadhu kind of thing. Why you need to see the king? Here what's happened, after being in academic so many years with many teachers and etc., the students first started thinking that yes, I need to do PhD. Then Guru said that why you do like this? So lot of questions, queries and etc. Finally Guru said that okay, don't worry, I'll take you to the king. The day came. So Guru took this boy to a king's palace. The king's palace was surrounded with the 7 walls, guard walls. The first guard wall gate, 2 sentries were standing with a good dress and with swords and etc. He never saw this type of people, this boy. He bowed to them thinking that it is the king. Then Guru said, hey, no, he is not the king, this sentry. Means student first reading some papers in journals and in library, he started thinking that whatever I am thinking is good enough for a paper. So he starts writing. Guru said that no, you need to read certain things. Like that way, second gate, third gate, fourth gate, gradual increment of good traces are coming of the sentries, and the student, the boy also going, and teacher said no. After fourth gate, students have started doubt that why Guru is not giving me any importance. I am doing so many things, but he is not allowing me to communicate to a journal. So Guru probably is not giving any importance to me, but he is discussing with some other students and some other things. Then what happened? The Guru and Shishya, they started little departing. Means fifth gate, sixth gate, when they are crossing, the student looked to the guide, but guide also ignored him like that, but still they proceed. This is the status. Means what's happened? Guide knows that yes, let students work. After a certain period, he himself automatically will come to know that what is happening, what is there. At the gate, 7th gate, when they entered, then the student did not go to this 7th gate sentries because he was waiting for confirmation from guide. Then guide said that go ahead. When he entered through the 7th gate, he saw that king was lying with a specific posture in a special bed. So many people are there, etc. They're all well dressed. But the thing is that the boy with this scenario, he understood who is the king. Then he stand with a folded hand. After seeing him, the king also stood up, folded at his shoulder. Here what's happened? The boy, he did not require guide's confirmation whether he is a king. He himself are confident that yes, it is the king. Means he come to know the confirmation of his work. Yes, I am confident. For this what's happened that every year, every semester, progress seminars are happening. And at the end, when you are giving either synopsis seminar or abstract seminar, there what's happened, the teacher says, go ahead. Then the students will get confirmation that, yes, I have done something like that. When the students also stand in a folded hand, king also stand folded hand, and he gave a smile, and the boy turned his head and saw that the Guru is also smiling. Then he came to know that the Guru said that that king, he is also my student. Now what's happened? Spoon feeding in PhD is not possible. You have to do your work. This is now the guide's role is not to show you or to give you the specific topic input that is yours. But guide will guide you. So that would be the role of guide. And I request when you select any guide, give this in mind. Now the thing is that then what type of, then I said, yes, it has to be philosophizing the finding and reporting to peer group. We need a storytelling style. When we write a paper, we always try to present how much I know and how much I grabbed in this knowledge, like that. But many a times we forget that who are going to read this paper and why they will read your paper. And then what specific issue makes your reader motivated. I will just tell a small story here of my own life and then I'll forward. When I was doing my PhD, I was writing a paper. My father, he was commerce person, commerce graduate. So I thought that what my father will know, he is a commerce guy, I am a science student, like that, doing PhD in this. So the draft of the paper I left somewhere and I gone somewhere, and when I came back, my father with a cup of tea said that you are writing a paper. And I, yes, sir. I ignored what I'll tell my father, which is my university topic, like that. So then what happened, my father said that whatever you have written is good, but who is going to read it? It would be, you should look for their capability, their requirement, their intelligence, and whether they are getting a newness from it. Writing paper is not to satisfy your learning or your these things. Like that. So there should be always a storytelling style. Means starting, then main body, then inferences, conclusions, etc. But it has to be a positive tone, not in a negative tone. So now the progress, so in research, whatever you are progressing, you need a conference paper and a journal paper. Then in many universities, they say that when you are starting your research work, they said that within 1 year or 2 years, you should publish some review papers. Now the question is that review paper means in that topic, the state of the art issues, you have to learn very well. You have to be in the total state of the art. And then from that, whatever you want to tell, you have to write that. That is a review paper. Normally what's happened, when a student enters in a PhD program, so they do not know much wider on the topic, what is happening at that moment. So it is very difficult to write a review paper at the very beginning stages. So it would be always good to write a research paper at that time, because you are doing the research, some kind of things you are doing. So that would give you a newness in your approach. But newness in review paper is good when an eminent person, a mature person appears for this. Now, so this is the progression. So normally what's happened, it is better to go for conference papers at the initial stages, so you know your peer group, whether your work is going in right directions. Then journal is SCOPUS and other issues, UGC latest information. I told you that it is, though the journal publications are not required at this moment, but to upkeep your search, it is required. And at the end, many people, they write it, they publish their thesis as a book, but thesis directly transformed to a book, obviously it is only scholastic matter. Thesis is to evaluate by somebody else, to judge your level. That is the PhD matter. But if the simple book you transfer it to a book, PhD thesis, who will read that book? Then some special editing is required in the thesis, final thesis, so that there will be a wider range of people who can be motivated to read those things. Then what's happened? So during this work, intellectual property right you have to do, so establish claim. mostly by patent or by design, registration, etc., etc. Patent mostly what's happened based on the knowledge, and design registration is by the product or that the information and etc. like that. That we can go. So then we can say that I have done many papers and many patent during my work, and also design registration, etc., etc. So if I compile all the things, then in a bunch will be there, so that I can submit as a thesis. It cannot be. Thesis is not a collection of papers that is published from your work. Those are the outcome, special outcome from your research work. But a PhD thesis, you have to write separately, where your publications will give you weightage or confirmation or justification of your work. Now, I'll say that from when I write some paper, normally what's happened, we see the journal, what type of papers they publish. Many times what's happened, these journals are not matching with my topic or my research. Obviously, because you are doing something different, and all journals need not necessarily follow your work. Then what to do? Mostly it is done that whatever your work is there, see what tune a specific journal follow. You just mold your work into that tune. So that would be the next thing. Now, from a reviewer's point of view, I will just point some of the issues here that normally reviewers look into. New and significant information, if it is there or not. Mostly what's happened, the new researchers, when they write a paper, around 60% of the paper's volume, beginning area, they write literature survey type of things, introduction type of things. Very less work, and the conclusion or information conclusion, it is mixed up. So, as a research, you require all these things. But when you are publishing a paper or in a conference paper, these things are not required. They are those who are studying or reading your or attending your presentation, they are of the same field, same maturity level. They need to know what newness you are adding to that. So paper also looks into this. Then next is that problem is significant problem, whatever you are doing. And is it consciously stated, or it is very elaborated that people are they are not making any head and tail out of your write-up. Experimental and or theoretical methods described comprehensively. Interpretations and conclusions are justified by the results. At the very beginning of a paper, normally we write an abstract. Is that abstract concise? Many times after a paper or something, summary is also written. After abstract, keywords are there. Keywords, normally what's happened, that's what we write, we just pick up some words from the abstract or from the papers and we make the keywords. Sometimes it also okay, but many times what's happened, it becomes repetition. Something like that, sustainability, sustainable environment, sustainable environmental protection, sustainable women workload. So always repetition, it should not be there. It should be crisp. Then comes literature citation and adequacy. Literature citation, here one thing comes in a paper. Literature citation would be, reference would be as per your paper requirement. But in thesis, what's happened, it may be more wider. Many times students say that, sir, there is no literature available in the topic I am doing research. What to do? The thing is that, yes, may not be available because your research topic is very unique. But the thing is that to justify your thought, similar nature or linked thing that can be added, something like that way. I am doing a research work on tourism in a specific place. So here, or maybe tourism with my own car, self-car driven tourism. In this topic, if I search in net or somewhere else, direct papers are not available. But the thing is that self-car driving experience, those type of papers are there. Tourism papers are there. People go for outing, on that some papers are there. Or these type of papers, if I can link to your topic, then I can have a very big literature survey like that way. So where your direct research is not there, then this type of cross references we may use. But in paper, these type of things are not necessary. As paper is a very small one, here directly related to your topic, literature citation is required. Mostly reviewers are looking for this. Then comes language are acceptable. English is not our mother tongue, but still our English is much better than many other countries. So there is no issue of feeling bad or anything. Whatever you're writing, that's a good thing. But it is always better that whether whatever you want to tell, it follows a story or not, like that. Then comes the, at last, they also have the whether paper volume means the size of the paper, 10 pages, 5 pages, 8 pages, is good, or it may be concise. That type of discussions they give, and figures and tables, etc. are there. And at the end, they also ask you to check in that paper manuscript whether conflict of interest or any legal issues involved. So, in a paper, if it is a human-related experiment is there, then whether ethical clearances, etc., have taken, and whether some conflict of interest is there or not, that needs to be declared in that paper. So these are some of the issues that I would like to discuss with you from a reviewer point of view. Now comes when I said that this is a PhD thesis is a philosophical journey. Why? Just I am showing you one page of a thesis first. Cover page looks like this. It is from the IIT Guwahati. I was earlier there. So this here you can see that normally the title starts like this way: a study on customized visual image presentation from the target group for social awareness communication in Indian context. Why we normally in PhD thesis writes a study on? We normally can say that customized visuals are language, etc., etc. The thing is that whatever topic I am taking, I am doing a certain portion of topic and my understanding and like that. So in a thesis, it is always better to have this type of title heading. Okay. But if it is a publication book and etc., it may not be there. Now the thing is that you can see the next line, it is always written in every university institute that in partial fulfillment of requirement for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in mass communication, in journalism, in engineering, something like that. Why it is Doctor of Philosophy? Because whatever you are doing, getting that inferences, you are philosophizing this thing. I try to discuss a little bit afterwards also. So with this, we can say that the difference between this PhD topic and a project topic. Just one example I can tell you here. Suppose the sword of Tipu Sultan. This is a topic. I want to make a TV serial, or maybe one TV or a cinema or something, or maybe a poster or whatever. I also do the research. Who was Tipu Sultan? Where he was? What he has done? What he did for this thing? That whatever he sword. What is the specialty of that sword? And I am presenting that thing in a document form, either in a book form or in a visual cinema type of thing, film or whatever like that. And then I am presenting to my audience as a total tangible product. If the same thing is happening, I take it for a PhD research, the same thing I'll also do. Same information I'll collect, but my views will be, looking view will be different. I will see that why this Tipu Sultan's sword is significant in our history. What he had done. Did he use his sword to kill people, to rule positive, or he always used to carry the sword, so we are calling it like this way? What is the philosophy behind this topic? Then it comes a PhD thesis, like that. Now the comes in paper and even thesis. Either knowingly or unknowingly, people don't give guides name in paper. But the thing is that your supervisor or guide is also co-author of your work. You are the first author and guide may be the last author or second author, whatever. Normally, when you are working in maybe number of many authors are there, they are possible that your work you are presenting, you are the communicate, you are the presenting author, then your name will be at the first, and at in between other people's name, those who have helped you in this project or work will be there. At the end will be your guide's name. Normally, it is convention that either guide's name will be at the end last person is your guide, or if his name is in the first as a person, then it is his project that you are working under his project. So you are second author, third author, something like that. These are the normal cases. But in thesis, what's happened, you have to write your guide's name always. In papers, if your paper, published paper, does not have your guide's name, in many institutes, they don't consider those papers as the outcome of your own research work. So you cannot claim or place as an annexure to your own thesis. It is better to use this thing. Now the thing is that, now I'll come to the topic. Research methods, mixed methods, balancing or emphasizing qualitative and quantitative issue. But where it comes, let's see the process. In my total research journey, where this topic fits. Last 2 days and today morning also, you got a very good input in this. I am not going to discuss in details, but I am trying to link it. Suppose at the very beginning, in the left-hand side, you can see that introduction followed by brief literature review and your own thoughts. After studying this thing, you found that there are some issues that would have been done, but nobody has done it. So that makes you research gap. So when the research gap is there, then some question comes of why it is not done. Can it be like this way? Something like this way. So this gives you research question. Then motivation, research question is there. How normal it is, people say it is motivation. Some people call it work area or problem identification, etc. That what would be done, what is required like that. So from this, some assumption come to my mind. Perhaps if I do like this way, then it will happen. Or this thing and that thing has no relation. Means if I do not do this thing, this will not happen. So means same thing, one in to look into the positive matter, one is in a negative matter. So normally what's happened, the hypothesis, the assumption, there are two types of thesis, qualitative related, quantitative related. Like that, in social studies, mostly we do qualitative studies. I'll discuss a little bit more. But in scientific science and etc., whether numericals are more used to, very quantitative kind of, we can say in a general way. Here what's happened, the hypothesis is normal in a positive way, we give it in social research kind of thing, like communication design, etc. Normally what's happened, the hypothesis is that assumption, if to fulfill in the research question, if I do this or if something has happened like this, its result will, outcome will be like this. This is the one type of hypothesis. Many times people have one hypothesis, many times after doing, based on a hypothesis, after doing some work, revisit the work, and then you can refine your hypothesis again. That type of thesis is also there. So whatever I am assuming, from this assumption, aim and objective comes. There are people, many thesis people write aims and objectives, but always be careful. There should not be aims, AIMS, no S. Because aims, thesis in a single aim. Aims means different sides. So how you will proceed? So it will be aim. But to fulfill that aim, means that hypothesis area, there are many fields I need to consider. Something like that, if I say that, suppose one small theory, if I say that, we use white pies, kheer with rice and milk and sugar and etc. etc. So it is a pies. Normally it is white. But there are many other sweet meals where different colors are there. So I decided that in my, after my study, that Rasagulla and etc., so many things, we came to know finally that why payas should not have any color payas. Because there are many other sweet meals are there that has different colors, and it is also accepted by people. So why not payas will be there? So I think that my research question is that why color, Baba, which color would be good for to elevate the price in market. So hypothesis is that the color, the addition of color may improve the quality of and acceptance of pies. Is a positive hypothesis? Then again we can say that hypothesis is that if we add color in a bias, people will not accept it. It may also be a hypothesis, my assumption. Or I can say that there is no relation between application of color in white piles in acceptance by the users. That is also a possible hypothesis. Whatever the hypothesis I frame, my aim of the study is that to look or to investigate the application of color in piles to elevate its acceptability by the users. This is aim. It's very big aim. Color means what color? Means it may be color mixed with that food. It may be the color from outside the light. It may be different types of things. So what I am really actually talking? So that clarification will come from objectives. So many issues will be there. So objectives, I can say that maybe 3, 4 maximum objectives. Many objectives we don't require, it's beyond my control to work. So first objective may be to study the present concept of bias and its acceptance by different stakeholders. Second objective, to inquire why this biasm is on only white, colors are not used. Third objective may be to try out few different types of colors in biasm to study its acceptability. But these 3 objectives more than enough. Then I'll start it. So how I'll do the work? How I frame my work? That is the study design. Next slide, I'll discuss the study design. Now, the study design will tell me that how and what type of work I should do. In this case, the color, I can tell that. So after this study, only questionnaire, and I will have some different, biasm in a photo, and then I put different colors so the people, etc. So my study ends here that people may like color, may not like color. If my thesis ends here, then it is a pure qualitative. Means people have liked it. But the thing is that how much required, what type of things, what are the color variations, etc. Specifically, and that will statistically I have to prove that this color, suppose I am using some tamarind haldi in that biasm. So tamarind, I can say that now when I use kesar, people like it, but when I use this haldi, people don't like that haldi wala, this biasm. Why they don't like it? Then go on analyzing this area, etc. Then see that how much quantity of haldi or tamarind, if I put in this biasm, it would give you that type of feeling, this type of feeling, this type of feeling, then questionnaire, then experimentation, then some objective type of experimentation, etc., where the numericals comes, and then some kind of statistics and etc. all are involved. That is the quantitative type of things. But for communication, media, design, the research, it has a balancing requirement for both the things. At the very beginning, I have to understand the qualitative issue, and then I have to justify this qualitative findings with some kind of quantitative analysis work. So now my thesis, whether according to my aim and objectives, whether my thesis more emphasis will be on qualitative or quantitative, it decides like that. Then results and discussion comes. After these results, whatever here the one very big question comes, results. Now, after doing my master's degree and etc., where I learned a specific pattern, I know that this type of work, it should have a curvature like this way or a specific pattern. But in my study, that type of pattern is not coming. So then my research is wrong. So what happened? I try to back calculation. Somehow I need to match the earlier work, what people have done. Yes, my work also is matching to that. So I have done a great job. But the thing is that don't do all these things because expert persons they know that that type of thing is not possible because you are doing in a separate context, separate set of work, separate, totally separate things. So the actually as a text, whatever is supposed to come, it may not come. Then why it has not come? That you have to justify, and that is your newness in your research. It is not necessarily that you have to match your research with others' publications. So that is the newness. That is the discussion part. You have to justify why it has happened, what probable reasons for this, etc. Then it comes salient findings, means specific findings from your thesis. So those salient findings, specific findings, these are the addition in your knowledge. So the reviewers, even for the paper or your thesis, they want to see these things. Then conclusion. After conclusion, many people write limitations and recommendations. In limitations, many people write a lot of limitations that is not done. Like this, many people write due to COVID situation, the researchers could not meet this many people, could not visit this many people. So if you could not meet, then wait for COVID to go. Then you work and then publish your work. That question comes. It is better not to write such type of limitations. Instead, that the limitations may be written that this study was conducted on some limited subjects of this area, this specifications, and the result for its more clarity and reliability, larger volume of volunteers, the study can be performed. Something like that. So that type of recommendations that come, because in paper, this type of negative limitations are normally is not good. After that, what's happened? Then thing comes references. In these references, I would like to say some differences are there that I'll tell in after this. So then appendices will come. Appendices, which at the end, the large supportive documents that you cannot keep in your thesis. Because if you pick in the plates, photographic plates or something, big photographs or big tables, outsized tables. Normally thesis is A4 size paper. So if there is a very large table, then you have to fold it this way in between the text pages. So while reading it, very difficult. So normally what's happened, these big things are placed at the end as an annexure. Normally as a supportive document, your publications, whatever you have published, those things are required. Then glossary. Then why glossary is required? In our social research area, like communication, mass communication, journalism, and then design and etc. All the things, or even maybe in language, etc. Like that. There are many terms we use that are not very common. So what's happened? We should write those things in italics. Within bracket, its original language version, and then write its English version, kind of thing. That is normally it is preferred like that. So this type of glossaries are required. Because these are new things. So these are the required. Now I am coming to the study design. Study design means you can say that after hypothesis formation, aim, objectives, then study design. How I am planning to my whole work. I am presenting here two different type of publication. This study design is a draft. Study design, the thesis was the area of study was human image effect in social awareness poster. Means I'm just explaining this work and then I'll. The research study was that the thesis was that in social communication, government of India or West Bengal or many local authorities, even many NGOs, they produce many leaflets or many advertising awareness posters. Mostly what's happened, we keep there the celebrity figures and the language, either in English, Hindi, or local languages. It is very good. Now the study he did that if the language part, text part, if we remove and the poster is remain as it is with the celebrity figure or whatever figure is there, if it is shown to the target people, group people, whether they recognize it or they can feel some connection what the message could be. So many people failed. Means what's happened? Only visual image of the human or the celebrities, it does not go with the text, with the message. This is number one. Number two issue was he thought that, okay, then without human being, only text, it also has some problem. Then he did that, okay, if we have some posters and the poster image or poster theme is related to a specific target group, and if we can have a person or an image of human being from that group in that poster, whether it will be more accepted or not. This was basically study. Then what he found finally that the posters, the context based, something like that toilet for schools. There, the big celebrity figure, instead of big celebrity figures, if it is shown a dancing, smiley school girl of those community in that poster, it will be more effective if they feel that, yes, this poster is for us. That type of thing, he found it. Second is that if it is a national poster or regional poster, same feeling, like polio vaccine or something like that, or whatever like that. Then in the cosmopolitan city, there it is possible to have celebrity figures with English, Hindi, like that, local. But in villages, in somewhere else, it is good. But just one information is that when the study was going on, while conducting the questionnaire survey for this COVID, the response came that why Amitabh Bachchan's figure or he is appearing in COVID advertisement because he himself and his whole family is suffering from COVID itself. Then whatever he said, it is not a proper message. Something like that. So with this, what he has done, at first some literature survey, then research gap, research questions, hypothesis, aim objectives, then methodology. The study follow, he made many posters are collected. So 26 posters is collected. Then they gave it to their students group to select how many they feel more important, etc. From that 12 came, they found, and from that this 12, they did the some study. So students study and the locations where they have done in India, South, West, and East, Karnataka, Maharashtra, West Bengal, they have covered, and like that. And then finally, what they have done total like this, so this is the study design. Now, another study design area, we can say that another study area, a study on design education. There, what he thought that more hands-on experience would motivate the design and communication students to get in. So what's happened? He has first done some literature review. From that, he got some research gap, and from that question, hypothesis, objectives, methodology, and etc. And then finally, he came to that means need identification to investigate the mean and etc. Then background study, overall understanding, random reference collection, and like that is slowly. Then the thing that literature survey, then perception of opinion survey, looks for self-motivation platform, salient findings, like the way he's planning his research, total research, how he'll go, where he'll go, like this, it is mentioned. So he knows that how his total process is flowing. Now within this, as days passes, new things will come. You can modify these things like that way. So after this, it comes progress confirmation and feedback refinement. So whatever you are making progress, at the very beginning, I said that there may be a single strand thesis, means hypothesis is done, aim objective is done, methodology is done, and then what methods, the results, discussion, and then conclusion over. But in many cases, whatsoever at the very beginning, whatever we thought, we are not sure whatever I am thinking or this proper or not. Then a small pilot work is done, pilot study. Based on that pilot study, a final full form study, that material, that thing starts. Then whatever data we got, total information. So everything I cannot use it, so cleaning and screening of data is required. In my 4 years journey of research, PhD research, I collect many things from many places. So how to put it, screening the data, and then some statistical assumptions. Now, when I am talking about statistical assumptions, it is that whether my thesis is more emphasized on qualitative or quantitative. Like we can say that qualitative, I think that today morning on perhaps qualitative, quantitative I discussed, so I'm not going to discuss this much. This is the matter. So this is a requirement. So now feedback, progress confirmation and feedback refinement in each and every step is required. Now the thing is that I am doing research, PhD. Do I know actually what I am doing? Or I am just going to library and getting information, and my every day my mind is changing. One example I can give you, one of my PhD student, at the very last end, when he was about to submit thesis, he suddenly said that, sir, I'll just go to once to the Delhi IIT, and in the library I'll consult something, and then I'll come and I'll submit his thesis. He has gone to Delhi IIT, see the library, and so many information, he lost, and finally he could not submit his thesis. Means what's happened? You have to grasp the topic, which one within your control, how much I need it, like that. So understanding and channeling thought. Story goes like this way. Story, right, simply. Suppose you are traveling in a long distance bus. You are sitting next to window, and next to you, one boy is sitting up 10 years old. While talking, he came to know that you are doing PhD in a good university or institute. He was very new. He does not know anything about me, but he was curious. Didi, आप PhD कर रहे हैं? Are you doing PhD? Yes. What you are doing? Very difficult to tell that boy of class 10 or that age of 10 years age what you are doing in your PhD. very difficult. Always your formulas, theories, principles, and etc. Things, so many things will come. But how to make him understand what you are doing PhD work? Very difficult. So what I request all the PhD students and even maybe some young guides also to see this, that whatever you are doing from very beginning, you keep in your mind clear, I am doing this thing. This is my search. Like that. But it's very difficult. So what's happened? You should write a thesis skeleton at the very beginning. What is the thesis skeleton? Suppose you are writing your thesis. So the thesis content page. So after writing the thesis, only that content page will come. But here what's happened, I suggest at the very beginning, try to write those content pages. Without any page mark, without anything. Just the thoughts, one after one, one after one, one after one, what is coming. That's a thesis skeleton. At this moment, what I am thinking in a topic, I write it. These many chapters will be there like this. I am planning like this. After 10 days, 15 days, 1 month, when I talk to some other people or consult some library, my thought changes, come and modify those skeleton. But still what's happened, you will get a guideline. Then whatever your work is coming, you fit into that skeleton area, in those content area. So what's happened, your thesis automatically will voluminous, will increase. And after certain period, you can find that some work is not required. It may be squeezed. Some work you may require to expand, something like that. It requires. So what's happened? Then these are the requirements. And one more thing. As you are doing PhD work or research work, always your mind is busy. So many things you are thinking, so many informations are coming like that. And suppose while talking to somebody else and certainly some thought came to your mind, and after a certain period, it vanishes and you will be never able to get it back. So what I suggest, very practical thing, everybody carries some kind of bag with you, maybe keep a small paper or whatever, or if you have a smart mobile where the typing and writing is possible, whatever thought comes to your mind, just put some few words. Afterwards, seeing those words, you can get back what was thought at that time. This is very important one, I think a practical suggestion, what I feel and I give to my students like that. Now the thing comes, how to get required information for my thesis work, and who will be qualified information user and provider, whom I should meet. If it is for an experiment, then I need people to do some experiment. But whom I should go? If I need some information, survey, etc., whom I should meet? For that, the thing is that we need to do survey. So information through volunteered participation, mostly volunteered. But if you are working in an organization or somewhere where, like in military and etc., so they send their subjects for experimentation. But you are individual, you are not in a group, that official requirement is not there, then what to do? Something like that way, survey we have to do. So now survey techniques, there are many survey techniques are there. Like you go directly survey, do survey, meet people, give questionnaire. To make the questionnaire, there are many techniques are there. In net, you can find out questionnaire techniques. A lot of questionnaire techniques will come. And those questionnaire techniques, you match with your requirement, you modify it and you use it like that. Then you do the experimentation. But the thing is that sampling techniques. This is one of the most important thing people always ask about that. Who, what is? So normally it is seen that for our purpose, normally purposive random sampling would be the best one. Means for specific purpose, I feel that for my this type of information I would get from this. Like that, suppose I am making a research study on publication of medieval paintings. For that, should I include my students group in this school student, common people, or I should use purposive, means some publishers, those who publish those type of things, some museums and etc., curators kind of thing like that. So this is purposive. Now within the purposive, it is pure purposive, it may be there, or purposive random means suppose if I go to College Street, where this type of in Kolkata, there is a College Street one area where the most of the good book publishers are there. So if I go there, then I cannot make 100 publishers, I cannot meet. So from that, randomly I can take it, and the random technique and etc. There are many techniques available, how we can do it. Okay, so this purposive and random sampling is the most important thing for us. Then other relevant issues of a survey, like I may make questionnaire. This questionnaire I can float in net. I can put in many platforms, electronics platform. If I broadcast like this way, I am not sure. So this is pure random. People may give, and in this case, for some people may not give the proper answers. Those things are there. Now another thing is that then I have to meet people in person. I have to hand over the questionnaire and let them fill, and then I will collect and compile. Very good. But many times what's happened, this framing a questionnaire is a difficult task. Framing a questionnaire. Then what's happened, it is better, or many people do like this way, you fix some kind of thoughts in your mind that in these areas you require answers. Correct it. For a meeting of a group of people, go there, discuss with them, then whatever response comes, you write against those points. After discussion is over, then you read all those things or whatever you said to them. And if they say that, no, it is not like it is like this, then you have to change it. Or if they say, yes, this like this, then you keep it record that in this group, this type of people were there on this date and etc. In this meeting, this was the outcome of this meeting. So this may be one sample of this meeting. Maybe like many groups we can have, and 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 groups to total information I can compile, and I can make the things, and I can make the whatever statistics or whatever I feel or whatever way I want to present it, I can present it. This type of things are also possible. And whatever at this moment I said or available in book, you may develop a specific type of technique. Do this, then you justify the benefit of this technique. Then people will accept it. Whatever you do, you have to justify that. In a research work, PhD work, most important is the methodology. In a same context, the same experiments or same things, if it is done, result always will be almost same. So in PhD research, the method is most important, and when it is being done, all those things are required, because next time if I try to do this thing, the context changes. for reference, when we take some reference from net, I have taken now, but after a certain period, they remove that. So I will be not able to refer it back. Then is it a false one? No. So I have to make that when I am downloading something, I have to write it as a date and time. Then it may, you are sure on that day it was there like that. So after this, I would like to say that reference matter little depth in depth. Why I require referencing? This is the responsibility sharing. While borrowing, acknowledging, and crediting other work that I am borrowing or I am referring and I am crediting. Like that. And another hidden matter is that based on some references, if I do some work, so the basic responsibility lies on those work. If anything goes wrong and etc., I can say that so I referred all those things, so it may like this. This is also there. Now the thing is that now in paper or thesis, many people write bibliography instead of references. But the thing is that in thesis and paper, it should be references, not bibliography. References means those work done earlier, you are referring in your text, you are citing in your text to support your background. So that is the references. But bibliography means what, seven? References and some more similar type of reading material. Those combination are the bibliography. So bibliography, mostly for textbook type of presentations, bibliography would be more suitable than in a research paper. In the research paper, mostly we write it references. Now again, one more thing. In many theses, etc., or in a paper, you can see that in text citation number within bracket 1, 2, 3, 4, like this, some numericals are there. And also somewhere you see that author's name, comma, publication year, like Chakravorty, comma, 2023, like that. So what does it mean and where it could be applicable? Mostly, if I see the Chakravorty, comma, 2023 means at the end of my thesis or my paper, the full references are there, Chakravorty, D, and something, somebody else, and etc. in 2023 published in which journal, what paper, etc., etc. It will be all written there. But if I write everything in my main text, main thesis text, then it will be it is not easy to read it. So normally Chakravorty, comma, like this, if more names are there, then Chakravorty, comma, et al, ET8, full stop, AL all, means and others 2023. So if it is required, I'll refer it back. This normally format is written in where your write-up or manuscript is voluminous, like mostly the thesis area. In thesis, we write this is Chakravorty 2023, this type of references. But in paper, where and this references at the end, we write it in an author's specific ascending order or descending order. Means Chakravorty, then A, B, C, D, like this. So that in the text WhatsApp, I can use the same reference many times anywhere. But it will follow a sequence at the end. But in small paper, 5 pages, 6 pages, 7 pages, 8 pages paper, is a very small one. So there, the main text matter is very little. If there I write like this Chakravorty 2023, then it eats away space. So there, whatsoever we write 1, 2, 3, 4, like that, and at the end, in the reference page, 1, 2 serial number I can put it in. So one serial number means in that reference, what are the one serial number? Two means the 2 second serial number, like that. So as it is small one, the cross reference possibility are very less and more volume of these references we don't need to juggle. So these are the issues. So where the text, the total manuscript volume is less, like papers, there this type of 1 to numerical type of citation would be good. And in the big area, like in thesis, the author name publication year, that is also good. But in some other cases, in specific journal specific matter, there they prefer this name and publication year type of things. So as per your specific journal requirement, we have to follow this thing. These are the requirement. Now the thing is that some ethics comes. Yes, I have done some work. Now the ethics. First ethics, I said that your guide's name should be there. Those who have worked with you, contributed, their names maybe they are in between you and your guide's names. Like that. Normally, 4 or 5 names one can give him, but it is better to have 1 to 3 names. But mostly for thesis purpose, guide, your name and guide's name are mostly required like that way. So this is number 1, ethics. Then ethics comes that ethical practices. First ethical practices comes that plagiarism. Means what's happened? Someone's work I am just copying directly without giving him due recognition. PhD work is such a work that I can take reference others' work, but if I say that I am referring this thing within bracket or something like that, or I can modify and I can cite their names, etc., then it is okay. Like that. Now the plagiarism softwares and etc. are also there. So their version you can modify the things that you can watch it. Second ethics, just I will like to tell you here, just one other example. In the right hand side, you can see one photograph is there. Photograph is that what type of information I am publishing. Here it says that I want to export chili powder, red chili powder from India. So the package graphics, I may have like this one. It looks like Devi Durga ideal, that Devi Durga and Uma with that Trishul and 10 arms are on the lion, standing on lion and hitting the Asuras. It looks nice, very good presentation graphically. Can this type of graphics be incorporated in Indian product packaging? Can I do this thing? So means what information I am publishing, in which level of information. Many institutes like the defense and other research institutes, they don't allow their work to be published. Then what's happened? In different way, your tune has to be changed, and changing the tune without giving full set of data that you have to approach for publication. Even some institutes, organizations, they have their own in-house publications and they value more on that. That also will be considered. Now, another thing is that human experimentation involved. If human experimentation is involved, there is an ethical committee in different field is there. So that ethical committee is, we have to see. Now, in this case, I just would like to tell you one thing. In an earlier period, mostly the medical journals and medical type of publications and etc., all the pupils, when the photographs are shown in a measuring period or whatever like that, their eyes are blacked out. Normally, a black spot, they put it. Why? They want to hide their identity. But it looks very odd. So everything has to present, your presentation has to present. Now, But if I have taken the ethical clearance and the permission of those people to shoot and present in my work, then it is better not to hide their eyes. So let's see the total work they are presenting like that. So it will be good. So this is the issue that human experiment involved in that case, it may be done. Then some kind of thing, social issues. The ethics is that I have gone to a village. I have found out some practice there, very new to me, to world also. I am publishing, but this practice is their secret practice and etc. Can we publish their secret practice without their permission? This type of some social issues and etc. It also comes in play. So these are the some of the matter we need to consider. Now, many times it comes that what would be the research area, what would be the things, how to, everything is like this. So whatever I am seeing here, everybody has done the work, nothing is the thing. So just I'll tell you one small story here, sorry, from this figure, identifying the needy. If face look out, charai beti. In Sanskrit we say na, that charai beti means chalu. Go ahead, search it. On the while journey, something will come. After seeing this photograph, it says that what to be done for this girl. So immediately it comes mind that she is without any footwear. Now she is walking on a marble floor, but if she goes out, then there will be a problem. So she needs a chappal kind of thing. Immediate research solution has come to my mind of this thing. Then I work. Then question comes, if she is little old, then the same chappal type of footwear will be there, suitable, because then the leg and body all portion parts coordination is not there proper. So if she steps, then chappal will fly off from her leg. Then what's happened? Belt system around the ankle, we can put it in. So this is the perceived need. Means after seeing this girl, I can say that immediate need of my work is that give a shoe to me, footwear to her. First level thought. Second level thought, that perceived. After this, what will happen? So extrapolate my thought. That is a perceived thing. That if she becomes old or something like that. Now today the IT sector is doing this, so I am using this mobile and etc. Very fine, immediate solution. But the perceived need is that when I'll be old, I'll forget where I keep this thing, where I keep my specs, etc. Should I ask Google to look for my phone and my spectacles? What would be the perceived need? Because in our time, within 10 years, the number of old people's number will be more. So their requirement will be there. So this is the perceived need of a thought. Now the created need, it was not there. But I think earlier, when the computers came first in market, many people, they objected on that, resisted. No, we don't want computer, otherwise what's happened? People will lose job and etc. etc. But now without computer, nothing is happening. And computer itself is creating jobs nowadays. So who the first made the computer at that time, or taught the computer, or who bought the computer in the office system, or in your organization? He just brought it, then put it with you, then you reacted on that, then he refined, and now it has come that small, this thing has come like this. The story goes like this way, that one shoe company asked their representative to go to a place to see the possibility of opening a shoe shop there. He came back and he said that no, sir, it is not possible. Why? And nobody wears shoes there. So how you will have a shoe shop there to sell your shoes. Good. So in this current situation, it is done. After a certain period, the same company sent another representative to the same place. He came back and he said, very smiling face, sir, not only to have a shoe shop, if you want, you can open a shoe factory there. How come? Sir, nobody wears shoes there. Means if we can make them aware that shoes are required or necessary for their lifestyle or for them, then a huge market. So this is a created thing. So for my thesis work also, my thought of process, immediate thought, then perceived aspect, then created aspect next. So like this way, I can enrich my identifying the need area. Now, coming to little towards mass communication, design, journalism, etc., like that, a small thing. So whatever, so the figure says that when an information comes to us, it should have this type of ambience. Everybody should be happy to see this thing. But is it like that way? Everybody sees like this way? Just I'll show you this figure and then I'll go back to that. Just day before yesterday, this newspaper came in a hall, it was lying. It says that during this Panchayat election in West Bengal, this lady's husband was killed, like this, and the full paper is showing this type of things. Means negative. So now the thing is that what information comes to the mass group? Election is very dangerous. West Bengal is very dangerous. Or after seeing this photograph, what image we are creating? Any positive image to people? So can it be a topic of research? We look into the presentation, role and responsibility of the researcher or presenter. Here, again, I am coming. So findings to lead to development. Whatever thesis, research and research there, we are adding knowledge for development. Go ahead, not the pull down. Yes, there are requirements, some pull down type of things. Means we can say that, suppose laterite content or maybe some specific mineral content in our riverbed. A study was there. Why? If a mine is possible to be there so that local people can get some jobs and some other work related work. So I need to study whether it is viable or not. So the study says that it's not viable. Then it is a negative thing. But still it says that development means we are creating some other scope that while doing this thing, some other may come up. That it may be, or we can say that for this development, instead of this thing, go for somewhere else. In this thing, it may be findings to lead to development. Just one thing I can say that two theses I am referring here. That one is that thesis in IIT Guwahati was there, that a journalism student presented in the thesis in the perspective of positivity in journalism. Means when we present some negative thoughts in journalism, in a paper or in somewhere else, who are the audience? Mostly what's happened, newspapers, I'm talking little earlier time when the thesis was done. So the mostly newspapers, the normally when say able-bodied persons, they go to office. Children, they don't read the newspaper. Only ladies and old people, those who are at home, they see the newspapers more frequently. Then, if all this type of negative things are there, then what's happened? Whether they will feel a positivity in their life or what to be there. So then some people suggested, in many places also there, that the front page, it should be always with the big, good, positive things, inviting like that. And other things maybe in the center, middle or somewhere else, so that it's the first positive things and then negative matter and etc. It may be there. So that was one thesis in this Pal Chakravorty's thesis case, it was done. Then one Prasun Chakravorty is from UPS, he is doing a PhD. His matter is that political cartooning. So after doing a lot of studies and etc., he seemed at the end, he is suggesting that the political cartoons, when we made it, a specific socio-political message to be published in a satire way. But the thing is that there is a group of people for this type of cartoons. But common people, they like cartoon, but not political, maybe some other socio, entertainment type of things. So in that case, a specific breed of political cartoonist or some course, academic course, may be created so that this type of a specific work area, culture can continue. At this very moment, this political cartoonists and political cartooning is gradually reducing. So he has done some work on this. So this type of some thoughts we can develop. Now the thing is that, so I'm almost ending like this. So now the thing is that, cross the boundary, explore, look for opportunity. So build a story the way you want to build it. Like, how much time is there? Just check it. Half an hour time is there now. Fine. Is it okay? I'm continuing.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So then I'll tell a small story that why we need cross-boundary research work. Earlier, what's happened? I am in journalism, so I'll do only work in journalism. I'll not look for some other things. I am in chemistry, so I'll do only chemistry work. I'll not look into that. These chemical products, how in an industry people are using, or how in a school boy using it for reading, for writing. I'll not look into this. That is different matter. Something. So now the cross boundary. The story goes like that way, that King's falcon fly story, if I say. King got 2 falcon kids as a gift. They were reared, they eat, and they become very big fat. One falcon is falcon, it flies very high. Another falcon, he was sitting there, he eats only and grew. But he never flies. King tried many tricks and etc., but failed. Then he thought that probably it is a very bad quality, but it will not fly. Then it was known that no, these 2 eggs were from the same falcon, mother falcon. So how it will be different? Then what to do? Then finally, the frustrated king said that if anyone can make him fly, otherwise I do not know what to do with this bird. So one villager came and said, sir, can I try it? Yes, you also can try, let's give it a try. Next day morning, when king was strolling in his garden, he saw that both the falcons are flying very high. How it is possible? He called that village fellow. What you have done? What type of training you gave? Then he gave a smile and said that, sir, I have not done anything. It is normally practiced in our village many times. I just cut the branch where that bird was sitting. I just cut it. So he has to move from his comfort zone he has to fly. Then if I cut all the trees there, then that falcon will never be back. There is some life risk. So then what's happened? When I cut one branch, I should keep ready for some provision that some other scopes are there. So person in new education policy, these things are provided that you can expand and cross your boundary border. But where you can go and can rest, those facilities should be there. No. Then I said that build a story the way you want to build it. Because you are the student, you are doing, you are thinking, and whatever you are thinking, that gives you the degree. Now the thing is that confidence building. You are getting doctorate degree, not your guide, not your other colleagues, not anybody else. Others are helping you, but you are getting doctorate. The question comes, when you go for presenting a paper before a group of people, then you start doubting your own credibility. I do not know how to say, what to say. If they ask many questions, you are working in this field. You have done the state of the arts survey at the very beginning. You have found out the research gaps. You have found out the research question. You made your hypothesis, and then you have started working on that thing. So it is unique. None of your audience people, they are doing all the things, or they have done these things. So you have gone to library, you studied in depth, you have done the experiment. So whatever you have done, yours, you are the only one in this field. So it is you who is doctrine in the topic you are dealing with. So whatever you are presenting, with confidence you tell it, because no one has done that in-depth study or look into your topic. But the thing is that why people will listen you? You have to tell your findings, your topic as a palatable to them. Means if it is a conference, suppose you are a journalism student or conference, you are presenting it in a scientific conference. So then you have to mold your tune to that. If you write a paper in a scientific journal where, then what that journal they prefer like that. You are just tuning just instead, but not changing your own confidence. Like it is said that you need to worship a god, the flower he or she likes most. With that flower, like Shivji, he likes it, that Billapatra, bell leaves, like that. So, like that, you do it. But you are offering the puja, whatever you have done, like that. So, be confident. Then comes that everything. A PhD thesis is not a diary of work done. 4 years of your study, every day what you have done, I may use a diary to write, maintain. I'm writing it, maintaining a diary. Can I present this diary as my thesis? No. These are your thing. So diary cannot maintain. A diary of work cannot be a thesis. The thesis is the PhD. The number of papers you have published and etc., it will not give you the PhD. You may have many design patent, many patent, etc. like that, but still it will not give you PhD. The thesis is the PhD. A common attitude is, well, I have done a lot of work and published it, got patents, etc. Now all I have got to do is write it up. Beware. It does not really matter how great your research has been during these 3 years all that really matters is your thesis. And thesis is not a collection of papers. From your thesis, suppose you have published 4 or 5 papers. Normally, we have seen it done that every chapter of your thesis, from every chapter, 1 or 2 papers we publish. Then we can say that if in a chapter 1, these 2 papers, chapter 2, 2 papers, chapter 3, maybe 1 paper, like that. So then my thesis is complete. It is not like that. Your thesis is a proper story writing story, where these papers are the supportive justification of your work that will be added. You may maximum mention this thing. And one more thing, that you cannot refer or cite your own papers from this work you have published. No, these are the outcome of your main thesis work. You can say that from this work, this paper or this publication is done. So at the end, you are mentioning that. That gives you the credibility. Not that your own work you have published on this topic and you are referring, citing that as done like this. No, it is not there. So, not acceptable, not a collection of papers, not acceptable for PhD thesis. Some other universities allow this as a PhD route, but it may not be, but it is just falsely it is said, stuff. But it requires standard high. It is similar to writing a book. We can, however, take a collection of papers and turn it into a PhD. It's a total story like that. So now, a big it is not a big final year project. In master's degree or bachelor degree, a big final year project is an outcome, result oriented, mostly. But thesis is not that project. It is a philosophy of your work, like that. Following a critical analysis of sufficient methodology. Then whatsoever, it is not a lone journey. You are doing alone and you are submitting the thesis. No, you have to meet with your many people, peer group, present somewhere, get the feedback, refine your work, and etc. One more thing I can tell you here, mostly for the okay, I'll tell you afterwards. Paper thesis. Okay, so like that. So now your English may not be proper. Now the thing, you should write at the very beginning. I said that you should have a thesis skeleton and go on entering your work into that. Then it will give you a total flow. Then you require a proofreading kind of thing properly, because the way you have written, the way I told you my father's story, I write something, my father said that for whom you are writing, who is going to read it, like that. So a proofreading is required and like that. So, and then what's happened? Just 1 minute. Then here I should tell that PhD, a PhD made up on only critical assessment may be possible, but it is very difficult. It is only quantitative. So qualitative aspect for our type of research is required, and then quantitative support will be there. Average good or size for a thesis is around 150 pages in all, perhaps up to 4 extra pages for a big appendix, and bibliography or references may be there. This is not bibliography, references. Beware of the trend of writing long and boring paragraphs, big paragraphs. Now thing is that mostly 2 to 3 conference papers and 1-2 journal papers are required. And these are required for defense also. And mostly what's in feedback from reviewers is extremely helpful. These reviewers means you are maybe paper reviewers, where you have submitted papers. Many times the papers they review means they give some major modification, revision, minor revision kind of thing. So it is very helpful. So that you just modify it and resend it to those journals. It is when paper is acceptable, but this modification or editing is required. Many cases, they simply reject the thesis, citing that topic is not good, this is not good, this is not good, the topic is not matching with our preview kind of thing, like that. It should not be disheartened. It should be taken as a very positive thing, because when even they reject it, the reviewers, they give some comments why they have rejected it. You just fulfill those points in your manuscript and send to some other paper, it will be accepted. Because all the negative points this journal has pointed out, you have fulfilled here. Nobody will give you in a place where you are doing your research. So, paper rejection, it should not be considered as a bad. The feedback is even more useful when your submission don't get published. Then always think presentation is precise. Mostly what's happened in any of our papers, the new researchers, when we start writing paper, we write a very big introduction, literature review, etc. But the thing is that the journal or the conferences, those who are attending those conferences or those who will be reading the journal, they know all the things. They want to know what you have added in this precise form. So give more emphasis on that here. So the statement of the problem, the solution, methods, framework, and your inferences are the most important things. So thoroughness in the science method should be there. You must show proof that your contributions are valid. Then thesis steps. What thesis steps normally a research worker passes? First is that they think something on initiation of I'll do PhD research, initiation, then topic selection. Don't be disheartened. First few months are the courseworks, then the topic selection. Around a major time of your total PhD period goes into the selecting the PhD topic. And many PhD topics, refinements, etc. comes and slowly come. You will never come to know actually what you are doing or have done till your viva voce is complete. Even your thesis, you have submitted it, still you are in doubt whether examiners or viva voce, they will raise some point. Means you are still in dilemma type of thing. After that viva voce is over, then you can clearly say to others, yes, I have done this thing, I have done this thing, and you are eligible to guide some others like that. So one should not feel disheartened that at the very beginning I told you that a guru and that is shishya thing, that I am not able to write paper 2 years ho gaya. Ek bhi paper 2 years past, I am not able to publish a paper. No, it needs some time. Don't worry. Then you have to first topic the topic in which area you want to work. Then guide you have to select, and my choice is that select a guide whom you can communicate freely. He can give you some time. Even you to meet him, you don't need always appointments. And workplace, where a comfortable working area. If now many times it is seen that we, the faculty members, we send our students to internship, where very big company. When they go there, I have seen my specific in my time, if a very big company, they accept, they give stipend, and then they some engagement, and then they show them the canteen, tiffins, and etc. Big people and etc. like that. It's top. But if a little lower level, a smaller level industry they go, then they will be able to enter inside it to get the total things. So the level of student and level of industry, that linking is required. So in this case also, your topic, your guide, accordingly choose the workplace. Not that some work is being done in that university, I should go and work there. Who will give you leave? If you are not getting any stipend or proper stipend, how you will survive there? So many issues are coming. What type of work culture is there? So many, these type of things are there. So that means initiation, topic, guide selection, or guide thinking, and workplace is there. Then coursework is there. After this coursework, comprehensive one examination normally is there. So here for permission to carry out specific research, that type of freedom is given. Then you are doing state-of-the-art survey. Then you are doing the every semester or yearly progress seminar you are giving. Then finally synopsis, or at the end, the presentation you are giving after completion of your work to get approval for submission of thesis, then thesis submission, then viva voce. After that viva voce, you will get professional degree. When convocation comes, you will be convocated. Very happy. After that, what will happen? Thereafter, I will tell my own professors what he told me, and I tell to all my PhD students, and wherever I go, the flower garden story. When you enter in a PhD area field, means there is a flower garden, just there is a fence. You are always crossing that fence, the garden. In that garden gate, there is a lock. The key is with some caretaker, not open. You see only inside there is a flower garden. You don't have any permission to enter. Now the viva voce or the convocation or degree, PhD degree, is that key. The key is given to you. You can open that key. You enter inside the flower garden. Now it is up to you to enjoy the benefit, pluck the flowers. The flowers, for a long time you are looking from outside, and means your job is secured. You got a good job, promotion, and etc. And you are very good. You are enjoying your life with PhD. Second one is that to create scope further, means instead of plucking the flowers, put water there, plant more plantations like that. So the garden will be more beautiful. You can enjoy it flowering. So create scope further, means take PhD students, ignite them the way your guide has ignited you, motivated you. And always keep in your mind the way guide treated you. If it is bad, don't continue that badness to your student. If you find something that your guide has done good for you, try to follow that thing to your students. With this, I would say, wish you all the best. Thank you very much. And I think coming 2 days, you will get some more details. I am not giving any details in here, just a journey, what I experienced, that I tried to share with you. For any details, there are a lot of books are available that will give you the specific topic even from net also. Thank you very much. Here I am ending my discussion, deliberation. Now it is up to you what to do now.
Thank you so much, sir, for your kind words. And it was really an enriching session. I hope that the research scholars and the students must be benefited for this same. And thanks once again. Tomorrow at right 10:30, we will be, have our fourth day of that FDP. Thank you so much. I request Indrajit Goswami to end the meeting for all. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. So I'm closing it.
Yes, sure, sir.
Okay, thank you very much.